This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It is Friday the 13th, March 13th.
Scary.
I'm here with Al Lindsay and I'm Tori. Brandon does have the day off. You have a surprise for us?
I bought the biggest crystal because of all the chaos Friday the 13th.
Okay.
And because of all this coronavirus nonsense, I'm going to give you guys some
That
good
looks
vibes.
like Superman's planet.
It does.
Yeah, this is your crystal for what?
Well, I carry crystals all the time to protect us all from the madness. It's getting a little bit too mad for me to
Yes, we got the
protect
big
us,
crystal
but we have
out.
the huge one here.
And this makes
hopefully-
scientific sense, correct?
Yes, it came from the earth. It brings magic powers to your life.
I love it.
All right, we're moving on to the hard news here. Has the president been exposed to the coronavirus? There are conflicting reports right now about whether or not the Brazilian president, Jair Bolsonaro, has tested positive. We do know that he's awaiting further testing to confirm, but people who recently met with the Brazilian president, like the mayor of Miami, have tested positive for the virus. But do you know who else met with him? President Trump, along with Vice President Mike Pence and several other prominent U.S. leaders. They were all together at Mar-a-Lago over this weekend. They shook hands. They sat next to each other all during a meal. They exchanged hats. It's not just the president. The communications chief for the Brazilian president, you see on the right, has also tested positive. And Trump clearly, as you can see here, came into contact with him. Meantime, the president's daughter, Ivanka Trump, met with this Australian official recently, who has now tested positive for the coronavirus. Other world leaders, like Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, has also been exposed. He is in self-quarantine right now after his wife, Sophie, did test positive for the coronavirus yesterday. I know we're hitting you with a lot, but we're just trying to give you the facts. Again, no panic. Should the president be in self-quarantine?
I mean, we want transparency, but also we have to remember, do we want chaos? So I'm just wondering, imagine if the president, the leader of the free world, says, I have coronavirus, and he's in that window, that age bracket of people who are really affected by this, even could possibly be really, like, terminally ill by it. So you want to just think about that. That's a big statement to make. Even when Justin Trudeau's wife said it, I was like, okay.
I was shocked,
the leader
too, about
of Canada.
that. Yeah, and then Bolsonaro is taking it back that he doesn't have it, even though people are reporting that he is tested positive.
So I don't know where I feel about transparency versus how scared everybody will be.
Lindsay, I'm going to agree with you on that one. I just, the role of the president and the role of leadership is to not only give people the facts, but give people the facts when they feel like we're ready for them. And honestly, I do think that unfortunately it would cause a lot of panic. And part of this is just using the other P word, prevention, not panic. And I think if people were to see the president or the leader of any country fall severely ill, I think it would cause panic. So we have to tread lightly.
I agree with you on that, but here's the thing, and I also think Trump is pretty it makes me nervous. He doesn't eat well. He doesn't have a great diet. He doesn't sleep well. He's been acknowledging that, and he's in that age bracket, right? But I don't like the idea that they're just still going out to Mar-a-Lago, and Pence famously said, I'm still going to shake hands. I don't appreciate that. I'd almost want more of a role model of I'm going to stay in a certain area.
So the president is speaking today in about 2 hours, so we don't know what he's going to say, right? They're saying, some news reports saying he's going to say that we might be in a national emergency, but he could be saying anything like, hey, I did get tested.
Right.
So I think we should wait for that to see if he is going to say that.
All right.
Let's hope.
He needs some power crystals.
Yeah, he needs, what are we naming this?
Power crystals.
All right, very clever.
I didn't have the words.
Everywhere you look, America is shutting down to try and slow down that coronavirus pandemic. Remember, flattening the curve? Well, Disney is closing all of its U.S. parks, including Disneyland, Walt Disney World, and California Adventure. Meantime, 6 million kids across the nation are about to be out of school as 6 states announced schools will close beginning next week. And major school districts like Houston and Denver are also shutting their doors. Late night has also gone dark. Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, and Seth Meyers, that's Joy Behar, that's not Seth Meyers, have all suspended production for the next few weeks. There we go. Even on The View, now we're at that picture. 77-year-old Joy Behar announced yesterday that she is taking a break from the show just to be safe. Who takes care of the kids?
I mean, I think grandma does, and that's what scares
Grandma's
me, right? Because
in that age
grandma's
bracket,
most
though.
susceptible to it, and the kids are the most people to have the case and have no symptoms.
Isn't that a perfect storm right there?
It's scary because, my ex-wife's mother takes care of my kids. My son is getting back from a week-long science camp this week, and at noon today, and you know he's going to be cared for. His mother's actually at home today, and is going to be working at home for the foreseeable future. But I mean, his grandmother is in close quarters, and it's something to think about. And you know, with parents, unless you have a job that you can work from home, you can't do that if you're a waitress.
Right.
You know, so it's very difficult. It's very scary.
Right. I think that the key is to slow things down, like Tori was saying. And so when you think about certain industries, I don't know about school because I'm kind of in the middle with parents being able to afford it if we don't get this bill passed, versus entertainment and things that we love. When we see NCAA and all these things shutting down, it's more things that we love in our livelihood, but it's not really affecting us personally if these things go away temporarily. So I think we have to accept that.
Yeah, and I hear it. And I think what we're both are all saying here is we need some help from the government for an economic stimulus, which I think we'll be getting soon or hearing more about, which I'm hoping, because parents are worried, and rightfully so. We hear you guys. Well, a JetBlue passenger traveling from New York to Florida found out mid-air that he had tested positive for the virus. Now JetBlue has banned him from flying with them after he boarded the plane knowing that he was waiting for the results. There were 114 passengers who were on board at this time. This has us asking, should there be a penalty for people who break public health protocols and leave quarantine? I spoke to my dad a little bit about this, and
your father's an attorney.
He's an attorney, and it's sort of a philosophical question, right? If you have, let's say, an STD and you pass it on to someone knowing you have it, can you be held liable for negligence, right, or even battery? And he said yes. So at this point, I think a misdemeanor might be in order, but we need a deterrent at some point. Do you guys agree?
I mean, he has no regard to me for other people to get on the plane knowing that you're in the middle of getting tested, especially because someone on there could have been. And people aren't relating it to like, okay, I'm sick, I'm young, but when you're affecting somebody's grandmother, and if it's somebody's grandmother that you don't know, imagine if it was your own grandmother and someone else did that.
Lindsay,
then that's when it would
that's the problem. People, it's a very selfish thing to do because you know, as our co-host Brandon canceled his trip to Germany, yesterday I canceled 5 stand-up shows, including one I had the night in Boulder. I was going to be in Miami tomorrow, and it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that I lost out on. But you have to think about other people, and you cannot say everybody else needs to put their stuff aside except for me because I. Once you use the word I in a sentence, you are being selfish. We have to all, it's got to be we right now, because anybody that says, well, I'm good, you don't know that. And even if you do know that, you still don't know the ramifications of it.
It's about sacrifice now, right? And I think our doctor, who's always been so good to us, Dr. Coley on the show, has said, we're flattening that curve that's for the good of everyone else. So that's a positive thing, an empowering thing. All right, how much responsibility do artists have if they're still performing at large concerts? So last night, face tattoo artist Post Malone was in Denver, and it was packed. Look at this. This is the Pepsi Center. It holds up to 20,000 people. This is the same venue where Denver's NBA and NHL would be playing had their seasons not already been suspended. But Colorado's Governor Jared Polis hasn't banned all large public gatherings, but should concerts like this still happen? I'm going to say no.
I think what Al was just saying, like Post Malone has this ethical obligation to be like, I don't care if the government told us we can't do this right now, I'm going to not do this.
I'm going to take the initiative.
Yeah, I was supposed to attend an event next week that had lots of people and was still going to go on until yesterday. They just said we're canceling it. But me and my friends decided before that we're canceling this.
I guarantee you, he made some comments like, we're not worried about the coronavirus, are we? Yeah, it's like, look, you should be, because probably a couple thousand people in there have it. So you thinking that you're being a bad you-know-what by doing that? You're not. You're being a fool. You think you're being cool and like, oh, I'm standing up to this. Your immune system doesn't care if you're Post Malone or a Post Malone fan or somebody working the concession at the Post Malone concert. You're putting everybody in jeopardy. So I hope you have time. I hope you made enough money to get another face tattoo.
Well, let me ask you this. Is it a generational thing? And I'll leave that to you guys. And I want to bring that into the conversation on Facebook and YouTube.
Super corny.
It's corny, but is it a generational thing, right? Are the millennials saying, we don't care?
No, I think, listen, because I think many people were booking all those flights and thinking it was funny. And I think that whatever it was at the moment, for me, it was the president's press conference. Whatever that moment was that hit home, people are not joking anymore.
Well, there were 20,000 people at the Pepsi Center yesterday, so they are joking.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I guess.
Yeah.
I hope it was worth it. I hope when you get somebody that you love sick, it was worth it. I hope he did all his hits.
There we go. Let us know what you think. DBL is live, and coming up, Joan Lunden famously beat breast cancer in her 60s. Now she's revealing the secrets to aging with dignity. Lindsay Granger catches up with her, and you, the viewer, are our 5th host. The coronavirus is impacting life in ways we haven't seen in decades. So are you still planning to go to large social gatherings, weddings, birthdays, bat mitzvahs? Your comments are coming up next.
DBL Nation, it's Kelly Schubert here with the DBL digital team. It is Friday, and I think everyone is happy it's Friday. We have all been overwhelmed with all the news this week, and hey, here at DBL, we are going to keep you informed with the facts, not fear. As for me, I'm getting prepared, just in case. That's my motto in life always, is just in case. I'm on Amazon Fresh getting a couple things, just some pantry staples, just in case, some ramen, maybe some frozen goods, frozen food, you know, stuff that can last a while, just in case we have to go into quarantine. All right, let's go to the desk and continue the conversation with our host. I'm with Al on the Post Malone thing. I think it's ridiculous that concert was still held. Governor Jared Polis is actually expected to speak any minute, so I assume we'll hear from him on things like this.
And if you didn't know, California, like Gavin Newsom, who is the governor of California, he's banned anyone over 250 people can't get together.
And another, a lot of states. I mean,
Right. So that's why you
maybe
think
that's what this national statement might be.
Yeah.
But I wish Polis
hey,
had
listen,
said
I'm
that
telling you
before
guys,
the concert.
no
Me too.
events.
And I bet
Yeah.
he'll say that right now.
Yeah.
I bet that'll be his next thing he'll say.
It's
right?
gonna be-
Hey, what if it's too little too late? 20,000 people were in that venue last night. I'm with Al. You're the vector. You're the one that's going to infect the other people. You may not even get the symptoms.
I mean, some people think that we're 2 weeks too late at this point.
I-
We should have been doing all of this 2 weeks ago.
We should be saying it's the containment. That's,
Yep, exactly.
That's the idea of not going. So it's contained and it doesn't spread.
And it doesn't
Not-
continue
not
to
about
spread.
an individual.
Right.
So that it doesn't spread. So you're affecting everybody around you, even if you don't have it.
Yep, so what Bert was saying, it's more about the containment and it not continuing to spread because it is spreading so rapidly and so easily.
Yeah, and I want to make this statement because a lot of people are making comments about like the Dr. Drew video, and let me just say this: Dr. Drew is doing what he's always done his entire career and what he's dedicated his career to doing, which is to keep public panic down and to keep people as safe and healthy as possible. He was trying to keep people from worrying about corona, which was not as big a deal 2.5 weeks ago, and the flu was a bigger deal. I think we all know 2.5 weeks later that now the corona is a real thing. So let's not go back and look at things a month ago and be like, that didn't age well. Nothing ages well on the internet. There's a copy of the Today Show when they didn't know what the internet was. Yes, looking back on things, they don't age well, but like let's keep up with today's standards and not take shots at Dr. Drew because that doesn't do anything for anybody.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, and the coronavirus is on everyone's minds, and so are important events, right? Like weddings, birthday parties, bar and bat mitzvahs. Now many guests are debating whether or not to attend. In fact, one bride declared that any of the guests who RSVP to her upcoming wedding who don't attend will be, quote, dead to her. And she used the clapping emojis.
Wow.
The angry bride says she's already spent thousands, and now social media is fired up with comments. So, DBL Nation, we're going to you. With the coronavirus going around, are you planning to attend large social gatherings?
On a side note, I never use the clap emojis.
I do.
I do. If you're going to get a point across.
I don't do that, but yeah, okay.
You don't use any of the emojis I use, so we'll never
We use
agree
different emojis, definitely.
You use the chart emoji, which was super weird.
I use the chart emoji.
Alright.
Give me some on that. Okay.
So Sherry from Facebook says, I'm going to be a bridesmaid next weekend and support my best friend in moving forward with her wedding plans. She understands that not everyone will be able to attend. And I think that's the thing, you have to be understanding, right? If people can't come, they can't come. I think they're following travel restrictions that make sense for them. And just like Joy Behar, we talked about earlier, took off from the show because of what's good for her, people have to do that in this moment. We're not getting any specific guidelines not to travel, but if your health might be compromised and you really don't want to do that, you cannot shame people for not coming.
All right. Corinne from Facebook says, if I were getting married, I would postpone who would want to be responsible for putting people in danger and would rather have people showing up in masks. Look, I don't think people should show up, period. We have to start removing the words I and my from all of these sentences, and it's the greater good, it's the greater we. Who are the caterers? What did they have after they put your plate down for your 85-year-old grandmother? Look, I love weddings just as much as the next guy, especially when I used to drink. But look, those days are over now. The days of public gathering, at least for the next 2 or 3 months, needs to be over for any reason. Funeral, new baby, wedding, bar bat mitzvah, basketball game, Post Malone, it's all over. It's over. There's no discussion.
But I hope that these businesses are not treating people bad also.
Right.
I know they're losing money, but I hope they work with people that have thousands of dollar wedding books.
That's very important. Also, if you didn't know, Dallas Mavericks Mark Cuban is paying for the Dallas arena workers still.
I love that.
So I think that's really great if you can sacrifice
and
like
Cleveland
that.
Cavaliers forward Kevin Love also donated $100,000, not donated, to the workers of the arena of the Quicken Loans.
Like the concession people and all that. That's great.
Well done, Kevin.
We love you, Kevin.
Cavs.
Okay, he just wanted to make that shout out.
Dottie from Facebook says, for my 60th birthday, I plan on going on a cruise, but that is no longer happening. And now I won't even be having friends over. I'm actually glad people are being forced to chill at home and spend time with their family. You know what is funny about this? What is your sweet name? Dottie. People are.
I love that.
I know, me too. I had a great Aunt Dottie.
You can't be a mean person if your name's Dottie.
You know what? You have a garden if your name is Dottie.
100%.
You know what I meant?
Yes.
100%. I will say this. People are reading more. And when people are making fun of needle pointing, people picked up crochet. Don't start falling asleep. I'm just saying, the silver lining in this, Al, is that people are congregating in more family-oriented aspects of their life.
I want to know what Al's going to do for 30 days if we all have to go home.
I ordered
crochet.
I ordered a beat machine. I make beats now.
Oh, my God. What's your DJ
Starting
name?
a whole career.
Oh, my DJ, Mobius Wilcox.
Mobius Wilcox. Oh, man. God, that's good. Coming up on DBL, former Good Morning America host Joan Lunden is spilling the secrets of aging in a brand new book. She tells Lindsey Granger all about it.
She looks
coming up
great.
Next. She looks fantastic. Guys.
No, Tori, your hair looks good like
We are on.
Yeah, I'm glad you did that.
First of all, I think you guys look amazing today.
Thank you.
How you guys feeling?
I'm happy we brought it back into wintry months.
Yeah,
I was
you
getting
look great.
uncomfortable. I have no short sleeve outfits,
But you
and I
look
don't
like-
have any money to go shopping right now.
You look like you're going to go take over a country, run it, and then like save the world. You look
Angela
great.
Merkel?
Yeah.
No, you look like you're like the prime minister of an island
That's what I
country.
mean.
Oh, like Turks and
Yeah.
Caicos?
And you have a
Yes.
lay, and you're like, let's go to a conference. Yeah.
I'd love to be the
Like
prime minister
all
of
your
the island.
meetings have some kind of blue drink there.
Any honorary island want to adopt me as prime minister?
People say
I can
you
retire
change
into
your
that
DJ
job.
name every single day.
I saw it. No, it's been Mobius Wilcox. It was.
I don't know if I like Mobius Will.
I know. I'm deciding. Oh, if you guys look.
Let's tell them.
My other one was Fat Spartacus, but it was fat with a PHAT.
Of course it was.
I like the idea of,
I do
of
too.
Fat Spartacus.
I like that better.
But then I didn't want to offend people with the fat. because-
Mobius Wilcox is like Moby Dick, and I'm already in a literary weird world. I don't know.
It was people don't love it. So
Let us know what you guys
I'm
think.
open for suggestions.
Yeah, let's hear some suggestions for Al's DJ name.
32 cents a day.
Oh, Aaron,
Your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-318-7365 now.
Welcome back to DBL. AJ ain't nothing but a number, right? No one believes that more than former TV host and journalist, New York Times bestselling author Joan Lunden. Earlier, I caught up with the breast cancer survivor to chat about her new book and the secrets to aging in today's DBL Spotlight. Joan Lunden, welcome to Daily Blast Live.
Great to be with you.
So you talk about how age is just a number and should not identify you. What age do you see yourself as today and why?
45. I think I
Yes.
got off the age train there. I think we all have that number in our head because you view yourself in a certain way. And I think that that's really important to aging well. What does that number really mean? I mean, and how important is it? Because sometimes it can make you feel that you're not relevant anymore, because how we treat ourselves is exactly how other people will treat us. So it's important that we keep this vibrant, capable, relevant attitude in our heads.
I agree with you, and you talk a lot about senior discounts. So what was your biggest senior discount? Oh no, I'm not that old moment.
So I was on the phone speaking with the Hollywood reporter. He sounded so young the second he said hello. His first question to me was, so what's it going to be like for you, Miss Lunden, going back to morning television as a senior citizen? I almost fell off my chair.
Oh no.
Seriously, it was like one little moment in time that completely reflects how married we are to a number. And that the minute you're like 65, you're a senior citizen. It almost feels like you had to get out of line of all the people who can still like live life, be relevant, have fun. Fortunately, about 2 weeks later, I was in a big box store, and I was buying a bottle of wine for a dinner party that night, and the young woman carded me. And I was like, hallelujah!
That's awesome. And you offer all kinds of advice for women navigating menopause, including how to maintain a healthy sex life. So is your sex life doing well?
My sex life is doing well. I married a guy 10 years younger, thank you very much.
Ooh, cougar. My boyfriend's younger too.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
I always joke that when I was 29, I got married, and I married a guy who was 39. 3 great kids, didn't work out. 20 years later, when I was 49, I got married again. I married a guy who was 39.
That's your lucky age.
I'll give you a moment to do the math on that one.
I like it. I have to ask you, what would you like written on your tombstone?
She was classy, sassy, and a bit badassy.
Yes.
But you know, that's because I want to be remembered that I lived life. I was vibrant, and I remained interested in life and people and wanted to make my mark on this world.
And listen, Joan, my great-grandmother is 104 years old and still kicking and having a good time, so you have a lot of life ahead of you.
You know, I plan to make it past the 100 mark.
Thank you. And Joan's new book, Why Did I Come Into This Room, is available online and at select bookstores now. Joan, thank you so much for sharing with our DBL Nation.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Joan, keep living. We all look up to you. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Blast. I'm your host, Jeray for the Slay, and today we're talking about how to keep these beautiful, beautiful lips staying all day long. I know, it's kind of crazy how fast we eat through lipstick, lip gloss, lip tints, all of that stuff all the time. But I got a couple tips here for you to make sure that you're going to have that lasting long wear all day. Now, my favorite products to use for a long lasting lip look is going to be lip stains. Yes, lip stains can really transform a look to make sure that you're going to have a whole day's wear without having to touch up too much. Now, I want to go ahead and break the myth. Even if you put it on and it says it's gonna stay all day, you're going to reapply at some point through the day. That's just what it is, my friends. I'm sorry, I do not have the magical answers here. You can do all of the 24-hour wear, all of that good stuff, but at some point, I bet you're going to eat or drink or have some sort of humanly function in which the lipstick is going to come off. That's okay though, that's all right. That's why we prepare, honey. That's why we have a plan A, B, and C. Okay, say it with me now, plan A, B, and C. So plan A, start with the lip stain for your day. This is a great way to make sure that you're gonna have a solid base and a good amount of color that's going to be long lasting. Now, I always like to go with something a little bit more with a little bit more of a pop, more of a bold finish. So then that way through the day, it's gonna transfer and it's gonna have a little bit more of a lighter effect by like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock when you're ready to hit those cocktails, okay? Now, when you're wearing a lip stain, look for something that's affordable, but still gonna give you that look. So I like lip stains from Ofra Cosmetics, LA Girl, MAC Cosmetics, and NARS. Those are my favorite lip stain companies. They have the best, and they're gonna make sure that you stay all day as well. Now, through the day, this is where we want to actually pick up that lipstick and use it to touch up. Yes, you can still use a lipstick. Get something that's going to be a color that complements your lip stain, or something that's going to add a little bit more of a brighter finish through the day, so you have this elevated look. You hear that? Elevated. So now we have plan A, which is our lip stain. Plan B is going to be our lipstick to touch up with, and plan C, my friends, go ahead and get yourself a little lip gloss, okay? Through by like 4 o'clock or so, our lips are feeling a little bit dry. We've been going and we've been talking to our bosses. You have that one argument with that coworker you know you can't stand, and you wrote 3 different emails biting your lips, which then bit off your lipstick, my friend. I know, I've been there too. Per the last email I said, I know. So with that being said, instead of throwing on that lipstick again and creating that chunky feathered finish that we've all seen Suzanne in the corner have, put on a lip gloss. Yes, you're going to have 3 products through the day, but that's okay for your self-esteem and your sense of mind and peace, hunty, okay? So say it with me. Plan A is our lip stain, plan B is a lipstick to touch up through the morning, and plan C, when Susan gets on your last dang nerve and you write the email 3 times, make sure you pull out a lip gloss and rehydrate those lips for a perfect, beautiful smile. That's all the beauty tips for this week, guys. Make sure you're writing in at Jeray for the Slay or at Daily Blast Live or right below for your comments, concerns, and how many times you've reapplied that lip gloss after Susan made you a little bit mad too. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Let's stop acting like the democracy that we know and that we teach our kids is still in place. The three branches of government has been shown to be ineffective. The executive branch completely came in and dominated the other two branches.
Welcome back to DBL. You know what time it is? It's tax filing time, and budgetologist Felicia Jones is here to discuss ways to get a bigger tax refund on today's Dollars and Cents presented by John Hancock. Felicia, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. All right, so when it comes to tax filing season, you know, we always want to figure out how to get the biggest refund
Absolutely.
ever. So the first thing you want to do is assess your filing status. For those who are married, you want to look at filing jointly or filing separately. And also for single people, you want to look at filing single or head of household. And that's a very distinct one. If you are taking care of a dependent person, you could actually get a few more credits on your tax return. So the next thing that you want to do is you want to claim all deductions and credits. Now, when we get to deductions and credits, sometimes we just forget. The first one is charitable contributions. The other one is student loan interest. Sometimes we forget to claim our student loan interest. And then finally, all of the state income taxes that you paid the previous year. The final thing that you want to do is you can still make last-minute contributions to HSAs and IRAs. And you can still open up an account up until April 15th and max it out.
Felicia, always putting money in my pocket.
I love it. I love it.
To submit your financial questions for the next Dollars and Cents, please email Ask Mrs. Jones at dailyblastlive.com. And for info about life insurance and retirement planning, call John Hancock at 1-800-995-4089.
We were on. We apologize.
I was professional and staring at the camera awkwardly.
I was texting. I apologize. We didn't know we were on. Thank you for that, Felicia. She always has great advice. We are getting some DJ names.
Okay.
People are asking what your DJ name is, and someone said DJ, that's right.
Oh.
That's good.
How about DJ
actually like
Albie
that.
Smooth?
That's good. Someone say DJ Mahogany.
No, maybe in 1994.
And then finally, someone said DJ Moving On. I know we have to move on. I know we have to move on.
Oh, I actually like that too.
I kind of like that. So if you guys have any more DJ names, right now his DJ name is
Mobius Wilcox.
So if you have ideas,
that's like 1800 versus
I know. I wanted to go super retro.
It's not great.
Albie Smooth is good.
Albie Smooth.
All
It's
right.
almost somebody's name.
We'll see you Monday.
Sometime,
Same place.
sure.